If your spouse has negative qualities, how will it impact your case? That's a question that I get asked often. And many times, even though I'm an attorney, prospective clients that call me all of a sudden turn the conversation into a therapy session. I'm not a licensed mental health therapist. I'm an attorney and I can only talk about what the law says. All right, but a lot of times clients want to tell me all of the negative qualities that their spouse has. They're abusive, they're absent, they go to strip clubs all the time, or they gamble, whatever the case may be. It's he or she is just not a good person. How will that help my case? Well, let's start with the case where you do not have any children with this person. If there are no children, then no one is going to care legally. Of course, we care as a human on a human level, but legally, the law does not care if this person is just not a good person. To begin with, Florida is a no-fault divorce state. What that means is that you do not have to prove why you want a divorce. All you have to say is, my marriage is broken. That's it. So we start off with that understanding. You don't have to prove why your marriage is broken. Now we go to the second part, which is, I don't have any children. I only have a retirement account, a house. He has this, or whatever asset or debt there is, right? The court is not going to care legally. Again, I don't want to talk about it from a human perspective, but legally, the court is not interested in hearing all the negative qualities of your spouse. All right, your spouse could be the worst human being in the world, but if you own a house with your spouse, it's going to be divided 50-50. All right, your spouse could be Pablo Escobar, all right, drug lord. It's still going to be 50-50. All right, that's just how the law is written. Now, let's turn our attention to children. Will those negative qualities help your case? Well, let's begin with the understanding that we don't have custody in Florida, we have time sharing. And I've done videos on that topic previously that you can view at your convenience. However, if the qualities that your spouse is exhibiting and he or she is doing that in front of the children, or the children are being affected by it, then yes, that could come into play. All right. If your spouse is having an affair and he's in the bedroom or she's in the bedroom and doing their business with their lover and the children are in the living room, that's going to be an issue. All right. That's something that the court is going to take into account. It doesn't mean that the court is going to terminate their rights. It doesn't mean that the court is automatically going to give you 100% of the time sharing, but that's something that the court will address. Now, let me go back to the issue of equitable distribution. Let's say that your spouse is spending thousands of dollars in gambling or in having an affair. You know, he just went out and bought his lover, his mistress, a $6,000 earring. Well, that's what's considered dissipation of marital assets. You're wasting marital funds on something that does not benefit the marriage. Now the court can look at that and say, you know what, I am going to award an unequal distribution of the marital assets to compensate for that. One thing to keep in mind, the court can only go back 2 years from the date of filing the petition. All right, so we're not going to be looking at the entire history of your marriage. We're going to be looking at the past 2 years to see if there was any waste. All right, so by and large, negative qualities of your spouse are not going to be in play. They're not going to be relevant in a case without children. They may be relevant in a case with children, all right? But that's on a fact pattern, case by case basis, all right? It's not gonna automatically apply to every case, all right? And when there are negative issues related to wasting money, that could help potentially your case when it comes to an equitable distribution standard. So again, it's always important to have an experienced divorce attorney to be able to guide you on the complexities of the law and to be able to tell you in a straightforward manner, this is what we need, this can help, this cannot help, right? Let's not go down this rabbit hole where you're gonna spend thousands of dollars in legal fees when we know for a fact it's not going to help your case. That's why an experienced attorney is always gonna be your best investment. Until next time, this is attorney Antonio Jimenez with Florida Divorce Law Group. Thanks for watching.